Welcome back. 2023 NXL Sunshine State Major here in Kissimmee, Florida. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Rich Telford on GoSports.com. First battle of the year. It's been fun so far through 2 sets. Right now we got Edmonton Impact taking the field to play the MLKings and the Brooklyn Bears taking on Columbus Level. Both the Bears and Level won their first match. This is the first time we're going to see Impact, and the MLKings lost one to the Bears. It was mostly Bears in that match, so with the new squad that the MLKings are bringing this year, need to tighten things up quickly because Edmonton Impact, though, yeah, sure, they lost J-Rab and they lost Alex Goldman, but, I mean, this team is still just absolutely stacked with stars, and they picked up Dalton Vanderbilt. So Impact going to be always a favorite, and it looks like immediately they're going to be shooting a body and taking some ground here, Rich.
Yeah, they look good. And they're, you know, it's a deep roster, right? They could afford to lose 2 of the best players in the world and still have one of the best rosters.
And they
3-on-5 advantage here early on.
They shoot Peterson as well, too. So Drula getting into a real good spot with, I think, is that JC? Yeah, Justin Cornell up in a key, crucial position at that 50-yard line brick here in the snake structure. Here comes the counterpunch from the MLKings, though, as they get a body into that 50-yard line.
Oh, nice. Gets Zupa.
Drula.
Was that Drula? Sorry.
Yeah, he gets Drula. So they just had no idea that he's there.
Yeah, he snuck in there, and that's what that little addition to the field did. It blocked that gap, so that you can sneak to the 50 without the guys on the drill side cross-seeing that.
Yeah, the NXL did decide to, oh, look at that. No, nice little read and react from JC, trying to figure out where that body was. He found him and very quickly made short work of him.
Great
and here comes Matt Jackson, Fuzzy Jackson, getting into the 50-yard line. Little quick read and react for Jackson as well, too. So looking good here for Edmonton Impact. 4-on-2 situation right now, and there are the 2 bodies left alive for the MLKings. Not in ideal spots. They're both in the middle of the field, and then here comes the up and over for Justin Cornell. JC dunking.
JC's not messing around.
Yeah, he dunks on him, and then that looks like they had seen enough. The MLKings going to concede the point, and rightfully so, as it was a lot to a little on the body count. And the first point going to go pretty easily here to Edmonton Impact as they did the work early on, figured out where that body was, and the snake took care of him. Nice job by Justin Cornell, Matt Jackson, getting things done out here for Edmonton Impact here, snake side.
Yeah, very dominant first point there. And I was asking, you know, you have your little turmoil. I was like, do MLKings have an advantage because they've already played a match this morning? You know, they've played this field, they've played with these refs, they've, you know, they've had these looks. Doesn't look like it. If they do have an advantage, it's not enough.
Yeah, I saw their huddle over there, and it sounded like they were trying to. As I walked by in that moment, I wasn't there for the whole speech, but they were speaking on putting more pressure on their opponents. Hey, you know, flood this area with paint. I need you guys to shoot your guns more. So now jumping in here, Brooklyn Bears and Level both with a win. It was easier for the Bears. They looked better. Columbus Level had a scrap out a win against the new pro squad, Austin Notorious, and it's a 5-on-5 break. Not anymore. Brooklyn Bears are going to be the first to take the walk.
He doesn't get to blame that on the breakout, though. He got shot out of that bunker. Bears dropping another, Matty. 5-on-3 advantage here for Level. Oh, Level dropping their first body. 4-on-3 advantage, Level. Level does have field position and a body advantage here. They've got a guy in the attacker in the Dorito, attacker in the snake side 50. Tower. Oh, they lose another, Matty. 3-on-3. Bodies are just walking out left and right, Matty.
Yeah,
this is a real gunfight dominant field, Matt.
It is. You are going to continue to see bodies drop here out of their spots from random angles. And sure enough, Frank Tommaso gets clipped after he got into D4, and that leaves just Chase over there for Columbus Level, and now he's in a really good position with that outside contained and no one in front of him. A little reposition for the Bears. They're from the red side, and they had to scurry on back to this Aztec where he's gunfighting from, and he's going to take the walk as well, too. So pretty solid point here, first point for Columbus Level, even though they did lose a couple bodies, like you said, just winning some gunfights.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we talked about at practice last week in New York, and when we first looked at this field, this is a kind of a one-on-one gunfight dominant field. Like, you've got to really make good decisions. If you get shot on the break, you get shot on the break. But if you get to one of these zones and you've got that zone control before the other guy, your decision-making process is super important.
Yeah, in the pits here with Columbus Level, a few changes for Level. New coach this year is Tyler Dobiak's taken over for Robbie Goldsmith. They lost Sam Silberg, who took an offer to go to Los Angeles Infamous.
I was really surprised he took that offer.
Yeah, well, they joke around like, hey, this is our cult, leave us alone.
Yeah.
And, you know, Pando, though, they were going to pick up Damian Ryan anyway, so that was a huge pickup for them to get Damian in there. But then they also lost Corwin Weber, who, in my opinion, is one of the best second attackers in the entire league.
Very selfish, Weber.
As he hurt his ACL, he tore his ACL skiing. So he's going to be out for some months, and that is definitely going to be a big loss. But Damien is going to be able to fill those shoes pretty nicely. So they look good in that first point. Jumping into point number 2.
MLKings dropped their first, now second body mat. 5-on-3 advantage for Impact. Impact looking almost flawless so far in these first 2 points.
Yeah, MLKings losing, looks like Donaldson and Rodriguez here from the snake side. So that's a big, those are 2 offensive-minded players. Axel got in, getting his spin out here. Going to be interesting to see if Impact's going to run 2 full lines or do a hybrid. Looking like 2 full lines, as this is a full different set. Yakimek going to get up into the wedge right by Axel, so nice little secondary in for Zach.
Yeah, I like Zach there. It's a great position for him. He can communicate, he can play defensively, but he can also launch offensively from there. It's a great position, probably the most important position on the field this weekend.
So a little bit better field position here on the snake side with that extra kill that they got. There's no one in front of them right now. Axel is shooting inside. Zach's popping the top, getting creative in that gunfighting position to try to figure out where he wants to put his gun. He's going to zone up here on to try to protect Axel. There's no one to protect Axel from, and it looks like Charlie has seen enough. So Charlie with a, what was it, a 2-on-5, going to concede the point here with a lot of time left.
Yeah, good concession. I think you're going to see a lot of that where the top teams get up a point or get up a body or 2 in a point and then just force the other team to concede. Don't take any risks, you know, win as constructively as possible.
Yeah, and we had seen that. It was a little frustrating, you know, for you guys, for the boys from New York Extreme to go up 4-0 and then kind of start dropping the ball a little bit by making some mistakes. So that's going to be the difference out here, right? If you want to be a top team, you have to kind of take a page out of the book of the best that have ever to do it, like an Impact, where Dynasty will probably do the same thing. These top teams they're that way for a reason. They're going to play to the terrain. Is this a layout where is it just an aggressive field? We're going to play Smash Mouth Paintball and the scores are going to be like 7-8? This is not that field.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, that was a nice job by Impact and to go up some bodies and then just force the concession. Now jumping into point number 2 here. Level first to go with Danny inside. Ooh, might have got clipped, though.
I think out of all the teams, Impact plays the least mistakes out of everybody. They make the least amount of mistakes in an event out. That doesn't always, you know, make them win, but I feel like they make the least amount of mistakes. Bears losing their first attacker, Frank Tomaso on the trio side, trying to get outside, got caught.
Yeah, and the strength for the Bears in game 1 was the snake side.
Yep.
With the way that Sester and
sneaky
and Scotty Graham were playing, man, they looked really, really good over here. So once Frank gets going on that D side, the Bears could be tough. But that D side is a bit treacherous, and we've seen Frank get caught a couple times trying to play a little extra aggressive over there in those gaps. So looking for Frank to tighten it up a little bit for the Bears. And here comes Danny Schonauer. Danny's going to launch, and he's going to run that inside highway.
Love it. Gets in there alive. Gets another one.
Oh, he eats them both up. Beautiful move.
Danny is a savage.
2 packs so far here for Danny, but he did end up getting clipped, though, at some point, and there's going to be a major penalty here assessed on Danny Schonauer, and that is not going to be good here on the snake side for Level. That's going to pull out 2 bodies very quickly, and now there's no one alive. They still have Chase and Askren alive, though, on that D side. Askren's still in the backfield, though. Chase is into D4 already. Oh, and he gets Cyclopsed immediately.
One-on-one, Matt.
Might be down to a 1-on-1. Got a fresh delivery from Hormesis and Coin Duel, some red and gold coins. So come and see me.
Yeah, that was good timing.
If you win a 1-on-1. Yeah, right? It was almost like it was fated to happen that we were going to have our first legit 1-on-1 so far today as I got my fresh shipment of some Coin Duel coins. Askren's going to play the aggressor here.
I don't like that full commitment by Askren. That was too early in the match, and it's a 1-on-1. Got to do a better job of that.
Yeah, and that was GJ Sakaguchi going to be taking the 1-on-1 victory here against Askren, who really went hyper aggressive there.
Started off as a 2-on-1. So really good job of Sakaguchi.
Yeah, so GJ got a red and gold coin for you. Come and see me.
You heard?
Yeah, it's interesting too, the story. GJ, as we're in the pits right now for the Bears, as the hero of that last point, GJ is going to come in and probably get. There we go, some high fives. But GJ decided to stay with, with the merger of Seattle Thunder. Last year, the Brooklyn Bears were Seattle Thunder. They played under that name, but the deal from the beginning was then eventually it's going to become the Bears. Most of the players from Thunders ended up leaving. A lot of them are on the Ironman currently. Patty Gleason is on that team, but the family just had a baby, so he's not here. Congratulations to the Gleason family. But GJ stayed on the Bears and earning his keep yet again.
Yeah. Super solid as usual. Here we go. MLKings got to do something different. In my opinion, it's not going to be one in the back line. MLKings drop 2, but shoot 1 on the break.
Yeah, it's
taking the walk.
Woodley and Reese are taking the walk for their respective squads. Reese for Impact and Woodley for the MLKings.
4-on-3 advantage here for Impacto. Impact with 3 across the back line and 1 in the center Aztec. Very conservative breakout. Up by a few points. No need to press the advantage. MLKings down by a few points. Down by 1 body here. Forced to press into Impact's guns. Never a good opportunity. Not something you want to do. Big move by the new skinny John Peterson over there.
Does look real fast this year.
Yeah, so we were in practice this weekend. I was like, oh, you look like you gained some weight. He's like, oh, I hate it when you and Matt say big guy moving down the tape. I'm like, we don't say big like fat. We're like, you're a 6-foot dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're an adult-sized guy, so when you run down the tape, you look big. Oh, Peterson gets 2 kills.
And he's getting some kills here, so a little 2-pack for Peterson, for the MLKings, and they needed something. Down by 2, need a little spark of aggression. They're going to get it out of Peterson. He still has some work to do, though.
Yeah, very surprising for Impact to lose 2 bodies like that in an up-body, up-point situation.
Well, but then Peterson getting clipped, though, being in that spot. Might have got shot down the sideline here.
2-on-2 now, Matty.
JC taking some fire over here on the snake side, but still popping the top. And now a little reposition for Impact on that D side, getting from D1 back to the can. As the chaos is set in, they're trying to figure out what this count is.
Yeah, Impact with a little advantage, Matt, with having the field spread, right? They got a guy in the D corner and JC over here in this brick.
Well, and they have the 2-point lead, too, so that adds extra pressure here on the MLKings to eventually have to play the aggressors no matter what.
Both Kings players are stuck over here on the snake side of the field, though. It'd be hard for them to swing around to the Dorito side. JC repositions to that corner bunker. Gives an advantage because he gets outside, and if he's able to stand over the top like that, then he can still use his eyes to communicate and see what's going on there.
Well, and it may throw the count off, too.
Yep.
Because the players for the MLKings are tucked in their spots and really just shooting their specific lanes. And when you're being proactive on your side of the field and playing multiple different spots, sometimes it's going to cause a little chaos.
The Dynasty practice yesterday, Blake Yarbrough was just dipping back. Every time they would see him in one of the bunkers and call it, he would immediately fill the other one. And so for half of the point, they thought there was 2 guys in that corner. Finally, one of the guys is like, hey, man, I think that's the same dude playing both spots. Here we go. MLKings now moving from the tower into the small brick, now into Snake 1.
Yeah, Navarro's trying to find the body, and he does.
Nice little job getting himself in there.
Oh, and then JC eats him up.
Yeah. Great release.
Forces a full field run here.
Impact guy's going to get a penalty. Yeah, that's well deserved. He got shot, just kept rapping all the way through, and I could see it all the way across the field, and I'm super old.
I think that was Zupa, actually, over there.
That was a big mistake, Zupa. Just a mental, mistake there.
Yeah, you'd see we're in the pits, and you could see Impact probably a little frustrated about how that one went down.
Yeah, and especially because I was up here earlier saying how they never make mistakes, and they made 2 or 3 mistakes in that point. Sorry, guys. Not my intention.
Yeah, so that was Zupa. So the penalty costs an Impact to make this game interesting here. Yeah, and there's Zupa coming in. You can see just, so he's obviously not agreeing with that call.
I like the fact that Impact has cut their coaching staff down to 6. I think that's a way better, a way more conservative coaching number. But with staff, they still got like 14 staff members down there.
Well, and with the players they have on that team, I mean, every single one of those guys
is also a coach.
Yeah, except for maybe Tyler. Tyler just got picked up.
Hopefully he's not coaching.
Yeah, congrats. But he's still a little of a rookie to be coaching. But everyone else has spent a lot of time, years in this game.
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up too, Matty. If you're a new guy on a new team, right? Even if you think you're a really good player, what should your demeanor be in the first practice and the first event? Should you be telling everybody what to do, or
Absolutely
I have
not.
a perspective, but what's your perspective?
Absolutely not. If you're a rookie, particularly one that hasn't really had that much time at a high level,
let's just say if you haven't ever won a professional paintball,
then you probably should just be a sponge. Don't talk much and listen a lot.
Thank you. Any guys that are on new teams, earn your keep before you start telling people what to do.
Yeah, and don't be the but guy.
Yeah, but.
When somebody gives you a little bit of constructive criticism.
Yeah, but.
Don't say, yeah, well, but. No, just listen.
Bears lose their first attacker, Dorito side, Matty. Level loses their first attacker, Snake side. Bears lose their second and now third attacker. Nope, maybe not. 3-on-4 advantage here for Level. Level in better field position. Bears caught in the pocket. The 2 Aztecs on the Snake side and the 1 can D side. Level in the center key bunker, center 50 bunker. Dorito 1.
Damian Ryan with nice
center.
fill all the way up.
Yeah, so good at read and reacting. Catches the fill outside there, gets that kill, knows where the other two guys are, and knows immediately what to do. I'm so glad that he's back and playing at the level because I was a big fan of his before he kind of dropped off and started playing like crap.
He's looking really good out here.
Yeah,
he's hungry for this opportunity.
Like,
been hearing really good
excited.
things. The guys have been talking about how good of a teammate he's being, and
He's probably a little more
the
mature
veteran,
now, right?
veteran presence, and
a little less of an egomaniac.
he looks fresh out there. He looks fast,
Yeah,
and
super
with the injury to Corwin Weber, they need a guy like Damian Ryan right now. And he's sharking up the field. He's trying to find these last couple bodies.
Playing smart. Yeah, I think he's going to be. I really hope he's going to go forward and do amazing things.
You know, well, Damian had become an all-star, right?
Yeah,
and
for
he
sure.
was the guy that was one of the best out here, and so it's good to see him back. Looks like Danny Schonauer, he's at the brick, and then here comes Damian trying to close this one out. He does get clipped, though, but then, player for the Bears gets shot to the ground. They still have a body in this back corner bunker on the snake side.
I believe it's a 2-on-1, Matt, level advantage.
I think Jared caught one in the spot you don't want to get shot. So Level trying to finish this point out. Still 3 bodies left alive for them, so 3-on-1.
Oh, did he get him clean?
I think he did. Shoots Danny and
1-on-1,
slides
Matt.
into the 50. I think there's still 2 bodies left alive
Oh,
for
for
Level, unless
Okay,
one of them
someone
got
in the
shot.
corner or something. Oh, it's 50 Dorito, that's right. So Level wins this one with 2 left. Good individual play by Damian Ryan, and then good team ball by those last 2 Level players on the D side.
Nick made it interesting here for a second.
Yeah, for sure. It was a great move. I thought he got him alive clean, and he was just going to keep going.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty fluid kill on Danny, and he took a key spot, but just didn't know where those last 2 bodies were left alive. I still like the intention in that move.
I bet we see a lot more disciplined Impact this point. I bet you don't see Impact make any mistakes this point. I bet you $1, Matt.
I'm not taking that bet because I agree that we're probably going to see some discipline. So looks like we got Dalton taking the field here, and it's going to be Zach Yakimek and Axel Godin here, snake side. Brandon Cornell, D-side specialist. Going to be over there with Dalton, also D-side specialist. That's a crazy 1-2 combo, man.
Oof.
I mean, Dalton
Scary.
Hill and Brandon Cornell. 2 SoCal talents. Even though we did lose Dalton to Arizona, but still born and bred California.
Yeah, I mean, where you're raised basically is where you're from.
So, yeah, Impact running 2 lines here, and a beautiful day out here. First event of the 2023 NXL season, and quite the turnout. It was good vibes yesterday out there in the vendors area, and good battle here on center court so far. We're into set number 3. The first fight that we saw against Level and Austin Notorious, that was a really good game. It ended up being a 1-point win for Level, but
So back and forth.
Yeah, but Austin Notorious in their very first pro game ever didn't really seem to be letting the pressure affect them at all. So
looks like the rest are reviewing a point. Dave just asked if we saw it, and from our perspective, we didn't see what was going on. So
yeah, still
waiting for the commission to make the call.
Worried about the Impact right now. Concerned with the penalty on Zupa, asking for a review. Our commissioner Jason Trozen's down there.
I could review it from here.
out.
I did see that. He did get shot. He did continue to play. They did throw a red flag, and they did pull people out. Let's continue on. Break.
Yeah, that's not actually your job, Rich.
Oh.
We got somebody for that.
Okay.
But I
cool.
really
Whatever.
appreciate your input, though.
I'm just trying to help, bro.
Yeah.
Trying to keep things moving along here. Schedule's going good.
Did you just jinx us? You just jinxed us for sure.
Listen, I get paid by the hour, so I want this to last as long as possible. Referees having a talk with the commissioner. Commissioners having a talk with the head ref. They're going to figure out what the call is, and then we'll try to figure that out and get it to you as soon as we can.
MLKings definitely hoping. Yeah, because the point has not been put on the board yet. And the MLKings are thinking, okay, they got 4? They're starting with 4?
Yeah, because either the King should get a point or Impact should start with 4. Otherwise, there's really no penalty for them cheating. Matt,
Yeah,
this is when you're supposed to be saying like funny, historical, interesting things. Go.
Well, back in 1864. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean,
That's right, guys. Matt was alive in 1864. Tell us
vampire.
about high school in 1864, Matt. Go ahead.
well, uphill both way in the snow. You know
Obviously,
what I'm saying?
obviously.
I had to ride horses.
Books made of stone.
Actually, I had my own pterodactyl. back
Oh,
then.
really?
Yeah, I got to ride pterodactyl.
That must
to
have been
school.
fun. Now, was that like a
Farmhouse.
bareback thing, or did you guys have like pterodactyl saddles?
Well, you have to go to the pterodactyl saddle maker in
Oh,
town.
okay,
It's a
okay.
specialty. I don't know. it's not.
It's a lost art, my friend. It's a lost art.
Not something you know anything about.
No. No pterodactyls.
Seeing as how
anymore.
I mean, you're only what, 29? 29 this year, I think? Oh wow.
Ish. I did get a free dessert the other day, saying that it was my birthday, and I felt great about it.
Are you getting the senior discount yet?
Dude, I'm waiting. The second I get that thing, the wife's like, "When do we start getting the ARP stuff?"
Yeah. When's your first Social Security payment?
Soon, I hope. I hope it's coming soon. Bart Yakimic down there, paintball legend himself as a player, now coach, owner of the team.
There must be an inconclusive review because Jason's been looking at this for a while.
I don't really understand what they're reviewing because they pulled the penalty and they didn't give him the point. So if something should have been reviewed, it should have been after that point, not a point later.
I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I saw the spray come off of him,
yeah,
and I saw the penalty thrown. So, but I don't know what they're reviewing, like if they should have a point or if they should be starting down a body. That's what I understand. Because any one of those things should have been easy to figure out.
So I'm getting some word from the booth that it might be a simultaneous hit,
trade,
or a trade.
But if the last guy, it seems like if the last guy is pulled out on a penalty, the other team should get a point, right?
Typically.
I don't know how Impact would get a point for getting a major penalty. But based on Dave's reaction, they are going to get a point. Interesting, guys. Sorry. As soon as we figure it out, we will try to do our best to explain it to you, but we don't know right now.
Well, the MLKings are looking very puzzled right now. Like, wait a second. I'm surprised they didn't have, somebody over here arguing their case.
Yeah, I was just thinking the exact same. There's 9 of Impact's coaches are talking to the guys that are reviewing it.
Smart.
And
plead your case.
MLKings are just waiting over there to hear what's the verdict.
So So the penalty is going to be officially overturned.
So there is no penalty.
So, but he's counting the bodies.
So there should be 2 bodies left.
Yeah.
But then, what does that mean, right? Does Impact? Did they give the Impact the point for that? Because there was no penalty on. Yeah. So sounds like they're gonna give Impact the point based on those 2 guys left alive. With no one left alive on the Kings, would have scored the point.
Well,
it took a long time to figure that out.
Well, typically arguments don't normally go your way, but this one did.
Well, it helps when you know. Oh, Jesus. Jason, you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, so it does look like Impact will be getting the point. Obviously, they'll have, with the penalty being overturned, don't have to play with 4. Would be a little frustrated if I was the MLKings. I am a bit shocked that they didn't have some advocate over here trying to plead their case. Not necessarily.
I bet they're trying to plead it now, Matt.
Bit late for that. But hey, if and so now they're going to have to switch because if the point hadn't been scored, then they will be on the same side. But
yes.
But if the point scored, but then now the MLKings. Yeah, so they're yelling to Kyle that it's going to be Kyle Berry from MLKings that it is going to be 5-on-5. They are going to be switching sides as a point was scored. I don't see that point on the scoreboard yet, though, because it was what we thought at the end of that last point, 2-1, and then now it should be 3-0.
Based on the smile on Bart's face, I think it's definitely they're going to get that point.
So, again, we'll have Axel Godin and Zach Yakmek on Snake side. Looks like Nick Laval up the center. And then Dalton and Brandon Cornell.
I've been kind of excited to watch Nick play up the middle and see what he does, if he can be creative up here.
This could be a really good layout for Nick.
Yeah, I'd love to see him and Damian Ryan battling up there.
Yeah, this is, as we move forward, it's going to be real fun to watch the creative center players battle through this middle. And then also the crafty Snake players, too. We've already seen a little bit of that, but definitely some dynamic moves are in store with the way that this layout is. D-side's a little bit more traditional, but we've seen points like Askren from Level stole a point from that side.
If you're not looking, they can go all the way down the field and kill everybody.
Yeah, so again, the score on your scoreboard on your screen, it should be 3-0 in favor of the MLKings, which we'll get that fixed here shortly. And jumping into this next point, and it's going to be first to strike, going to be the MLKings. Trying to kill on Dalton.
Impact dropping 2 bodies. Dalton on the break, and then the secondary move to Can D side.
So both those D side attackers come off. So Brandon Cornell and Dalton Venerable both taking the walk. So just 3 bodies out there for Impact, and there is no one on that D side. Closest body is Nick Laval, and he's at that center Aztec.
And it's hard to fill from there. out to the D side. If MLKings can get some penetration here on the snake side, they can kind of clinch this point by containing the 3 impact players on the side of the field in the corner here.
Oh, Laval, though, getting a kill inside. Nice job by Nick Laval.
You have to press the advantage when you have it. You cannot play one-on-one against the top guys in the world. When you have a 5-on-3 advantage, you have to start pressing the advantage. You have to start taking bunkers. They can only shoot at 3 of you, so the 2 guys that aren't getting shot at need to boogie on down the field, get in a better position, then pick up the mantle, start shooting yourself, and the other guys that aren't getting shot at now do the same thing you did. You continue that down the field until you score the point.
MLKings.
Write that down, Matt. That's important stuff there.
That was just beautifully said there, Rich. So we're getting
well,
like MLKings.
You can hear the pinball machine down there. Tick, 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 tick.
MLKings crawling that body into that brick in the snake structure. Looking towards the sideline here. And still 3 bodies alive. Zach was able to get to the back center, though, and he's definitely trying to fight his. Ooh, but he catches one up and over the top.
He was doing what he had to do. Yeah. He needed to get from there to that can.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, not really much you can do in that situation other than attempt to get out wide. You can't just stay 3 bodies with no one.
This is a much better look for the Kings here, Matty. They're in their snake. Peterson's pushing up to your side. Navarro's going through the middle. This is a much better look for them here in this 4th point against Impact. They really struggled those first 2 points. I feel like they should have won that last point, but they made a mistake. And now they're coming back and winning this point with 4 bodies left alive, Matt. It's a big difference.
Yeah, MLKings looking angry out here and sharking down the field. And Axelgod didn't last player left alive in that back corner bunker on the snake side. So the MLKings going to win this one with 4 bodies alive. Other than that death that Nick got, that kill that Nick got, and that inside, perfect point here for MLKings.
Yeah, and that's more their style of paintball, right? Survive the breakout, make it to the key spots, apply the pressure, get up the field. Not sit back in the back, cross it up, and try to outthink the other guys that are smarter and probably better gunfighters than you are.
Yeah, in the pits right now, Big Dave Baines, coach of the squad, so successful throughout the years, but a little bit of a different look here for Impact, and you know that's the question, right? I mean, obviously, just an insane roster, but they did lose Justin Rabikoff. And they did lose Alex Goldman, but they were able to get Dalton Vanderbilt. So
it's super hard to build one of the top 3 or 4 teams in the world. It's even harder to keep that team at that level year in and year out.
Those guys, I mean, they had a good run with that crew.
Yeah, amazing run, man.
And
I'm just saying that it's super hard to get to the top. People don't understand how hard it is to get to the top, but to stay there, that's special.
You know, and they did it last year, too. So this is 2 years in a row where they lost Goldman and they lost Rabikoff to the Saints last year, brought them back on after the Saints fell apart through
Interesting
in
decision
event number
to bring
3.
them back after they left.
But
right?
Impact still went to the second event without those guys, went all the way to the finals, and if it wasn't for the one-on-one heroics of Jacob Edwards, then Impact would have won that tournament. I mean, if he didn't get a shot on Brandon Cornell in an alternative universe, Impact wins that event. So, yeah, man, just it's not really about the names on the back. Now, it is going to make AC Diesel's journey super interesting this year because Mark Johnson built himself a superstar squad. But Impact then immediately answered and got Dalton. And then, Dalton coming off Dynasty. Dynasty then forced to go and get Harrison Fry and Chris Shear. 2 huge pickups for them, so that's going to be fun to watch when Dynasty plays this afternoon, 3:05 here Eastern Time.
Level spreading out to both corners. Losing their first attacker D side. 5-on-4 advantage for the Bears.
Yeah.
Bears with 4 across the back, 1 in the center bunker, the key center bunker.
And they're going to be losing another body here for Level. So 2 bodies have come off, just 3 bodies out there alive for Columbus Level here currently with Chase and Damien taking the walk.
Yeah, I don't like that. They put Damien in that corner over there. I don't like that. I don't like that position for him as much. It's much less creative. I like to put him in a spot where he can, pick and choose what he's going to do and get up there and get the most out of him. Don't let him hide in the corner and play smart paintball.
Well, it looks like Jared's having some. I think that might be Scotty. I think Scotty Graham inside here for the Bears having problems with his gun. Yeah, Jared just gets shot behind him. And so Scotty's in a real bad spot. Doesn't have a gun working. Probably looking for a tactical retreat right now.
For some help.
And Danny's going to run through, clear off, no one there to shoot. Danny on to the Brooklyn Bears side of the field here, trying to extend this lead. Danny Schonauer been playing pretty good out here.
And he's just trying to find someone to shoot, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, he just wants to bang, bro.
Where are these guys? Where are you guys hiding?
Guys, stop hiding from me, guys.
Scotty's going to have to start throwing paintballs.
Yeah. Well, if your gun doesn't work, you better draw some guns and talk a lot, right? Otherwise, you're not helping very much.
Here, some communication for Level.
Bears attacking on the D side. Bears have Snake Corner, the Dorito Wing, Dorito 3. Level's got the back Aztec on the Snake side and the 50 Snake. Do you see any other level players, Matt, that I'm missing? Might be a 2-on-3 advantage here for
Yeah, one might have
Bears.
snuck off. Danny with a retreat. Back into Snake 1. I think there might be a body at the wedge wrapping around on that D side for level.
Okay.
And they did, I mean, had 3 left alive. One might have snuck out as we were looking over at Scotty trying to fix his gun.
Bears have one back center, too.
Yeah, I think
So
that's
at least
DJ.
a 1, maybe 2 body advantage for the Bears.
Yeah, back corner bunker, Snake side for the Bears. Scotty Graham moved over into the wedge, but I don't know if his gun's working. He's got it. He's gunned up, but I don't see any paintballs coming out of the end
He's
of it.
pointing it at him, but I don't think anything's. No bang bang.
He's imagining paintballs
Yeah.
leaving the barrel.
Ooh, if this thing. Those are the games too where you have everyone's hopper, everyone's pack.
Yeah, and then GJ back center. I think that's GJ. Been wearing that white goggles. The 101 hero in the last point.
Really kind of slowed down out here. Communications died. The guys aren't really shooting their guns.
Well, 7 minutes and 24 seconds left to go. 1 point lead for Columbus level. So it is going to be up to the Bears to figure out a way to push up the field. Danny's put himself in a little bit better defensive position here at Snake 1 so he can shoot the gap inside to try to stop a move into the brick if Scotty Graham decides to make that move. Also has a little bit of a glimpse from that D side. There is a body in D3 for the Bears. See that bunker moving around there. Actually, he's out way outside of it, actually. And now he's going to get back in. Scotty's going to move up. Looks like his gun might actually be working now.
Yeah, it's a 4-on-2. The Bears need to press this advantage a little bit more. They're down by a point here. Last thing they can afford to do is turn this 4-on-2 into a 2-on-2. Level guys are in a bad position. They can't really work together, protect each other very well because they're kind of lined up. If the Bear guy in the Snake corner would get off defense and just switch to offense, crawl down here, he could shoot them both. And he's still got DJ in the back center supporting him, so he's got he's got the option for the full release. DJ now comes out of back center. Makes the second move to the key bunker in the center of the field. Tries to put some pressure on the little Aztec.
Yeah, GJ has definitely fully committed now. Oh, and they're going to get the crossfield shot on Danny Schonauer.
Yeah, Danny played a little sloppy there.
That should open up the attack on that D side. Sure enough, as soon as that pressure comes off, here come the Bears pushing up past that 50-yard line D side, and they're going to pinch out the last body here for level, and that is going to do it. So
good controlled point there for the Bears.
yeah, they're going to tie it up, make this one a match. A little under 6 minutes to go. And Baltimore getting checked out. Point is good. So in the pits right now.
Starting
the
to
Bears.
really wish I'd had that breakfast sandwich. Starting to get a little hungry, Matt.
Well, I did buy you a breakfast sandwich, and I apologize that it didn't get delivered to you. I know you like things hand delivered and with a little back massage.
Just if you could carry it around in your pocket for a while, make sure it's nice and warm for me.
Well, we did get your own microwave to make sure your coffee is
Thank
at
you.
a perfect 100 degrees.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I
sorry.
appreciate
I'm sorry to
the
fail
little
you
things
yet
that
again.
Make the difference.
So yeah, and the Bears having some conversations.
The Bears.
Impact. Good answer from the Kings in that last one.
Yeah,
See if they can
I'd
do
like
it
to
again.
see more of that. Unfortunately, a team like Impact is so good at making those adjustments.
On the breakout, heavy guns up for Impact, not taking much of a risk, and then they send JC on a secondary pretty quick, but they essentially had 5 guns up off the break. It did not produce any kills, though.
Looks like 5 alive for both teams.
Yeah, MLKings.
JC in a great position there. Snake one looking inside.
MLKings also not taking too much ground, though, so JC being proactive and getting into the Snake side quicker than the MLKings. Donaldson at the tower thinking he wants to move up there. You can see he's wrapping around quite a bit wide, and then we look at our drone shot, but still tucked in the pocket. Donaldson's going to get outside wide for Impact.
He's got a mirror, so he's got someone in his same bunker on the opposing side of the field doing a similar job. Back center player for MLKings getting a check. Looks like he's okay. 5-on-5 here. Now, Impact and MLKings are basically playing the exact same style of paintball. Kind of a cross it up, communicate, stay alive, don't make any mistakes. Unfortunately, the difference is that Impact's up by 2 or 3 points here, so they can afford to do that. Right? The Kings need to start pressing a little bit. They need to go forward. That's what they're better at, and that's what they need to do to win this point. If they just sit back and wait for Impact to come, it may never happen, and they may just completely be giving the match away. Fuzzy now filling from the corner into the brick behind Cornell. It's a good combination there on this side.
Yeah, Cornell and Jackson very close to each other. And then Impact also with LVL making a move out of that back center. And they're going to get a kill on Peterson. So then Donaldson's going to move up. So a little offense here for the MLKings is to get Donaldson in the insert bunker snake side and to get a body into the wedge structure as well too. But now Impact with a couple secondaries to get LVL and Jackson.
As a paintball fan, I'm always a little frustrated when it's a 5-on-5 situation and a team loses a body and then the player takes the initiative to make a move. You know, like, hey, if you can make that move when you're 20% on down, you certainly could have made that move earlier. And Donaldson waits to lose Peterson before he goes from the corner into the box behind the snake one there. And then when he gets there, he looks inside and plays defensively instead of trying to move himself forward and put himself in a better position.
Yeah, and now that Impact with the lead have put themselves into some really good spots, this is pretty crucial. Only 5 minutes and 14 seconds left, and they can really start to slow things down even more if they like, but it doesn't look that way. I mean, Jackson looks like he wants to make a move. JC has moved up to the 50-yard line. Impact is not just holding zones and trying to burn clock. They are looking for offensive moves.
Yeah, it's so hard on this field, Matt, because the vision is so bad that it's almost impossible to lock it up because you don't know where all the bodies are. So I like what they're doing with probing. I don't think they're probing and reacting to look to go offensive. I think they're probing and reacting to play better D-ball. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, that's
like
best practices, though, right?
Yeah,
is
like
that
Fuzzy's lateral movement
when you
out
play,
this way.
if you are up points, you want to take some ground, and then if your intent is to play defense, you can do that better, typically from a little bit more forward positions, not necessarily the 50s, but they are at one of the 50s. I mean, JC's been playing really well over here on the snake side, very proactive, and he's been playing tight at this 50 brick. He's got Jackson right behind him, who's been at multiple spots. Sorry, that's Trevor Reeser, not LVL. Reeser also playing multiple spots, and good communication. Reeser taking the information and putting that across the field. And still 5 up for Edmonton Impact, now down to 4 minutes left to go with a 2-point lead. If they can burn a little bit more clock off and get this point, that might be enough.
Yeah, they'll clinch it. Tick-tock, tick-tock.
Now the MLKings got to know that here, but they're just they're a little bit less proactive. They're just kind of content to be tucked in their spots.
Like they're up 2 or 3 points, man.
Yeah, it does. If you didn't know the score and you were just watching this specific point play out, you would think that the MLKings had a 2-point lead.
Nothing more frustrating than watching a team play defense against it when they're down on points. Like, what don't you understand about the circumstances that you're in right now?
Yeah, I mean, they did make some moves and some secondaries, and now Donaldson is starting to pop the top and try to figure out, okay, how can I move up? But they've already allowed Impact to put themselves in really good spots, and they have 3 bodies right in front of Donaldson and his teammate who's inside. But that teammate is just totally worried about JC because JC got there first, so he has to worry about him. And then Donaldson's catching a lot of pressure, so every time he pops over the top, somebody's shooting at him. It forces him to go back down and then try to shoot a lane. And that's, unfortunately for the MLKings, not how they're going to come back in this game unless they really catch somebody being sloppy in a gunfight, which doesn't look like Impact's going to give them much here.
Yeah, and this is you hit the nail right on the head, Matt. Impact took all the key positions, and once you get to all those key positions and those guys can start to protect each other, it gets really hard to crack that nut.
Well, and then look at this. Jackson's going to commit. He goes past JC, and now they're really putting the pressure on him. Yeah,
that was a little sloppy from Jackson.
No, but I think he got that kill on the can, and then here comes Cornell. Cornell's going to push into a gun. Donaldson might have caught him. He did. That's going to be a penalty. So yeah, this is a tough break here for Impact.
That was sloppy from
Cornell.
Cornell.
They had all the spots and just went right into some zones. Unfortunately for them, that pulls out Reeser. Damage control for Impact though, as they get a body to glide out to the back corner bunker snake side to stop the bleeding over here. But their 3 attackers all coming off in a bunch at the same time with 2 minutes and 14 seconds left to go.
Impact is not demonstrating the level control that they've had in the previous seasons, and I think that might be the J-Rab.
Well, they did up until that point right there, right?
Yeah,
and then
they
just
made mistakes in the previous
little bit,
I thought.
Yeah, just a little bit over aggressive in that spot.
Literally all Impact had to do there was not die. They had bodies, they had positions, they had the score.
Yeah,
right? So I mean, all they have to do is not make mistakes.
They could have literally just been posting those spots and
100%.
wait for Donaldson to make the move, right? At a certain point, in another minute, Donaldson's going to have to get up and make a move.
No matter how good he is, he's moving into 3 guns, right? So even if he pulls off a miracle and gets 2 of those guys, now it's a 3 on 3, right?
Yeah.
And it's just too little too late, man. Now this game is really slowed down. It's really hard to find where the bodies are. Impact's got Dorito 1 looking inside. That baby Dorito's looking inside.
And back corner bunker. But I don't think the MLKings know that Impact was able to get out to this back corner.
Yeah, that bunker is a really good bunker to have if nobody knows you're there, because you can get a couple sneak kills and get right back in the game, and you can keep the 50 snake from wrapping.
But the impact, even though, yeah, some miscues here on the attack on this snake side, but they looks like they've done enough. It's down to a minute. MLKings need 2 to tie, and you know,
They might get this one.
They might get this one, maybe. I mean, there's still a little bit of work to do. As you know, Impact's dug in like ticks in their spots. Back corner bunker, snake side still in D1, and they're just crossing it up. You know, looking in front of each other and trying to stop the attack they know is going to come.
Look how big that gap is, Matt, from the snake 1 to the brick for the D1 to shoot. Like, you'd have to be really bad at paintball to miss him going forward in that gap, right?
Yeah, and they do get the kill inside. Kyle Berry's going to commit through the gap, and he's going to get the shot in on Darula. And then here comes Zach is going to come through and trade out with Donaldson.
He gets both of them. He gets both of them, Matt.
No, sorry, that was Zupa. Zupa had filled out here.
Yeah, it goes from a 3-on-2 MLKings advantage to a no point.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but Impact definitely did what they needed to do to try to make sure they get the victory here in their first game. I mean, overall, there was definitely some good paintball played by Impact to get to this point, but having all of that ground with 3 bodies and with Donaldson and his teammate in pretty not great spots. I mean, Donaldson's popping the top. He keeps getting shot cross field. He really looked like he's like, man, I'm going to have to fully commit here. I don't want to do it because I'm going to be going into guns. But instead, then Impact just overextends slightly, gets shot a couple times, draws that penalty, and then that was the big difference. It's still, though, great job by Zupa to get out here on this snake side. And, I mean, Zupa won, you know, there's $1,000 at stake for best move of the prelims, and then $1,500 for best move on Sunday. He won the $1,500 by doing a similar thing, right? Yeah. By getting into a position, and you know, so Zupa has different gears in his game. He can play that defensive spot I was just saw again, and he can also, you know, be a missile too, which is kind of how he got paintball famous to start with. Anyway, jumping back into this one here after that last long point, all locked up at 2 with 5:33 left to go between the Brooklyn Bears and Columbus Level. Both these teams are sitting at 1-0 if you're just joining us. With a solid win from the Bears against the MLKings, and then a much closer game between Austin Notorious and Columbus Level, with Level squeaking out a victory there at the very end with the big move from Askren stealing the win. So jumping into this point right now, and looks pretty even. A little bit better field position with Level getting into the wedge structure, and also getting Chase into D2.
And they've got that Damien in that wing over there on the Drew side as well, Matty. Yeah, I think Impact could have gone into their meeting tonight after that first match with a kind of a happy-go-lucky meeting, and now they're gonna have to look at those points where they kind of made some mistakes and have to address some of that. Looks like both teams are willing to kind of sit back and try to force the other team to make a mistake. As I say that, first players eliminated on the Dorito side for Level. 4-on-5 advantage now for the Bears.
Yeah, Chase losing a gunfight, getting shot out of his spot.
Chase taking a walk. Oh, but then DJ just gets shot going in. That was a sloppy fill. He got in there, head popped up, and caught one in the head.
I think that's one of the situations where you see the body in front of you die, and then you just go in without necessarily checking off, just and it's a different guy that's going to shoot you, the guy you should have been worrying about in the beginning.
So 4-on-4 now. Slight advantage for Level with that center field position, but Bears do have an attacker here on the snake side, 1 bunker closer to the snake. Snake is the 50 bunker on the non-Dorito side of the field. Bears have the tall tower, the brick on the snake side, and both cans on the Dorito side. Level has Damian Ryan in the snake. Ooh, takes a hard bump into snake 3.
Hard bounce or a hard bump?
He just fell halfway through.
Oh, okay. But he made it clean, though.
Yep. And they've got another guy behind him in the can on the Dorito side. They've got the snake tower and the center wedge.
Yeah, so Level with better field position with Damien in a good spot in D3 and Hollowell here at the wedge inside. But they're both probing right now in their spots, just head checking around, trying to figure out what that next move is. Brooklyn Bears are a little bit more tucked in their spots. A little bit less proactive here for the Bears. More content to just shoot the lanes they're currently shooting. Joey Altimore has been kind of going back and forth, though. He's been shooting snake side, shooting crossfield, looking like he wants to jump into that snake 1. And then on the D side, you're looking at Damian Ryan trying to get low and get creative on an angle from that D3 position. And he's going to move up. He's going to get it's a pretty short bump into the tower, but he can launch from there either into D4 or into that 50 brick. You can see there's Damian Ryan, forward position. He's got Askren behind him. He's been playing really well for Columbus Level. That's the duo on the D side for Columbus. 2:42 left to go. Time ticking off. Who's going to go undefeated on day one? Is it going to be Columbus Level or the Brooklyn Bears?
Yeah, it slowed down a little bit here, a little bit back and forth.
This is interesting.
Really important point.
I like the layout. We've seen moves back and forth, and we've seen some creativity out here. But we already are kind of seeing Sunday Paintball in the very beginning of the prelims, which could mean Sunday is going to slow down a bit.
Dude, I'm so... every day we got closer, I was like, maybe I'm wrong. I'll go walk the field again. Every time I walked it with Jason when we first got here. And I was like, I think this is going to be... We got really lucky with last year's layouts, right? Every layout was like, oh, this is an amazing layout. It's playing really fast. It's playing really creative. And not every layout's going to play like that, right?
Well, I don't mind a layout with longer points as long as things are happening. It's when you have a layout where everyone just goes to their primaries or their secondaries and then just plays kind of patty cake from there. Well, and I don't necessarily think this layout's going to be that way, because if your intention, like I was talking to a couple guys yesterday that are aggressive players and asking them this situation, and they're saying, well, yeah, if your intent is to just sit in your bunker, then sure, you can have some long points, because you can get lost so much on the snake side. You're not really getting lost on the D side, but if you get someone that gets lost on the snake side, it kind of puts you in a tough position if you don't know where that guy is and he's playing offensive.
Yeah, I just like the parity in the fields, because it gives some teams advantages and it gives some teams disadvantages. You can kind of see what this team is good at, what that team is good at, and it gives you stuff to go, to kind of work on when you get home. Like, hey, when it's a fast layout, we suck, or when it's a slow layout, we suck.
Well, this is a crucial kill here for the Bears, as they were able to get a ball in on Damien, as Damien was probing over there, playing a bunch of different spots, and finally caught one.
I like Damien much better in the center of the field than I do trying to force through one of those gaps.
I don't really mind. I mean, yeah, this is a tough time for him to die, but he was really doing a lot of work over there as the first attacker and trying to make something happen. And
I just feel like it's easier to move through the center of the field than it is through either of these tapes.
But they didn't have a body of it because Chase got shot. So he had to kind of take over that attack because he was the body to do it. And so with just 40 seconds left, Lovell's going to try to hold on and force an overtime. Bears going on offense right now after getting that crucial kill on Damien. Robbie getting into the 50 snake here, and he's got Jared right behind him. Oh, and they get the shot in on the insert bunker. Here, snake side, so I think it's just Hollowell, and he's going to get bunkered out. They might be able to steal this win here. 18 seconds left to go. Can the Bears go undefeated on day one?
They've got the bodies. They just need to go.
Jared Sester commits, and he's going to take out Askren, asking for a penalty. Not going to get it, but I think Robbie Altimore is going to be able to get in there with 5 seconds left to put the winning point on the board. Nice close here from the Brooklyn Bears. A couple deaths there for Level, opened it up, and they took full advantage of it. The Bears look pretty good, Rich. Yep. I mean, it was pretty much all Bears in that first game against the MLKings. They lost a 5-on-3 in point number 1, and that was it. A little bit of smack talk actually going on, a little chirping out here between the Bears as they're waving at Level saying bye-bye, but Level going 1-1. And it's going to be an even point spread. So tomorrow's going to be a big day here for Columbus Level. But what a first day here for the Brooklyn Bears as they go undefeated. Still 5 seconds left in this one, but probably going to be burning that clock off. Jared Sester had a day, man. He played really, really well today, playing as either the 1 or the 2 inside, going to that wedge mostly, but just a beautiful job.
Especially that snake. I like that snake, those first couple sneaky plays. And it's funny because he did that. And I was like, oh, he's going to do this for 4 or 5 points until they figured it out, and they just kind of got away from it.
Yeah. Yeah, Jared had a really good day here for the Bears, but they had a couple guys, some bright shining lights for him. So jumping back into this one here, see if the MLKings can answer against Impact. Penalty.
Ricky catches one, gets a penalty.
Yeah, Ricky Smith gets a penalty.
Ricky. Impact dropping their first body, 4-on-3 advantage here for Impact after the early penalty on MLKings. MLKings are attacking, though, up to the Dorito 3. Navarro now trying to move down the snake side. I think that was a better match for the MLKings than their first match. I think that was an improvement from the first match, so that means that, the program's working. It's getting better.
Yeah,
it's not quite enough for Impact.
Yeah, great job by Impact.
Which could be said for most of the teams out here. Dalton, new pickup. Used to play on a team called Dynasty. I don't know if you heard of him. Pretty good at the paintball.
Yeah, that was one of the big moves. So it looks like they are going to be burning that clock off. So congratulations to the Bears taking the win over Level, and Impact scrapping one out in their first match against the Kings. Kings 0-2 on day. Oh wait, are they going to play it?
I think they're playing it, guys.
Okay, got some info that we weren't going to play it, but I guess maybe there was more than 5 seconds left. But apparently, no, there is 5 seconds left, and they want to play this next point. So
Griggs coming out for the Bears. Level's coming out. Yeah, we got a point, Maddie.
Probably
got us a point.
Probably not going to change much, but you never know. I mean, maybe
That
Level
would be super impressive.
Maybe Level hoping that the Bears spin around, get Goggle, continue to play, get a major, a swing point, and I mean, we've seen stranger things happen.
Playing for the penalty.
They pretty much are playing for the penalty. They'll probably send it themselves, but with 5 seconds left, I mean, we've seen a 7-second point, but like if you were listening to us in the last set, this is not really the way a layout could work to get a 7-second point. As it's not a real clear run.
30 seconds.
So, yeah, we'll have 5 seconds left in this one, and then coming up next is going to be Damage and Uprising, Aftermath, and New York Extreme. Extreme looked pretty good against Energy Elite, but Aftermath also looked pretty good against Uprising. So
yeah, that should be interesting.
That should be an interesting match. Damage taking the field for the first time. Uprising already warmed up, and unfortunately for them, they warmed up with a loss. So, and then Tampa Bay Damage is, they picked up Rainey in the offseason, and they're looking pretty good with that roster. Very successful last year. So, Level hoping that somebody on the Bears plays on, and we do not see any red flags. So that is going to do it. So stick with us as we got another set coming up. It's going to be Tampa Bay Damage taking on Uprising and Aftermath and New York Extreme here. First event of the season, 2023 NXL Sunshine State Major. Matty Marshall with Rich Telford. There's your schedule. We'll be right back. Stick with us.